Not the kind of tired that a good night's sleep can fix. The kind of tired that lives deep in your bones. The kind that makes your chest ache when you finally close your bedroom door at night and the quiet settles in. Everyone around you calls you the strong one. You're the rock, the fixer, the one who handles the crisis, dries the tears, and never, ever drops the ball. Society claps for you. Your family relies on you. But sometimes, when you're sitting in your car in the driveway, just staring at the steering wheel before walking inside, you feel a lump in your throat and you wonder, who is holding me? We are taught that needing help is a weakness. We are taught to be independent, to guard our hearts, to never let them see us sweat. But today, I want to tell you a story about a woman who built an empire of safety, only to realize she had built her own prison. There was once a woman who lived in a valley known for sudden, devastating storms. After a terrible storm destroyed her small home, she stood in the wreckage, wiping the mud from her face, and made a silent vow. I will never be left this vulnerable again. So, she began to build. Every time she felt fear, she laid a heavy stone. Every time someone she loved disappointed her, she added a thick brick. Every time she felt she couldn't rely on anyone but herself, she reinforced the walls with iron. It took years of exhausting, back-breaking work, but finally, she finished. She had built a massive, impenetrable fortress. When the storms came, she didn't even feel the wind. When the floods came, she stayed perfectly dry. The villagers would walk by and point at her home in awe. Look at her, they'd say. She is the strongest woman in the valley. Nothing can break her. But inside the fortress, the reality was entirely different. Because the walls were so thick, no sunlight could get in. It was freezing cold. Because the door was made of heavy iron, she couldn't hear the birds sing anymore. And eventually, a gentle traveler came knocking at her door. He was a symbol of God's grace, bringing warmth, provision, and love. But the door she had built to keep the pain out was now too heavy for her to open from the inside. She was completely safe. Yes, but she was entirely alone in the dark. How many of us are living inside that exact fortress right now? We call it having boundaries. We call it independence. We call it strength. We say things like, I don't need anyone, or if you want something done right, you just have to do it yourself. But listen to me closely. True, divine strength isn't about how thick you can build your walls. It's about having the breathtaking courage to remain soft in a world that constantly tries to make you hard. When you operate out of hyper-independence, you are secretly whispering to God, I don't trust you to protect me, so I will do it myself. We become so obsessed with protecting our hearts that we accidentally block out the very grace that is meant to heal us. God doesn't want you to be a fortress. He wants you to be a garden. A garden is open to the sun. It receives the rain. And yes, sometimes weeds grow and they have to be painfully pulled, but it is alive. It is blooming. It is breathing. Softness is not weakness. It takes far more spiritual maturity to say, I am hurting, but I will remain open to love, than it does to build a wall of anger and shut the world out. You do not have to carry the weight of the world to prove your worth. You can put it down. Your homework today is simple. Find one stone you've been carrying, one area where you are forcing control because you are simply too afraid to trust, and lay it down. Let someone else lead today. Ask for help with one small task. Open the heavy door, just a crack, and let the light back in.